Check.
Turn.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $150. The gentleman calls. Player checks. Turn.
I raise.
The gentleman calls.
Check.
The gentleman wins $1,480. The gentleman calls. Player checks. Turn.
Sorry, I won.
The gentleman calls. The flop.
Check.
Player checks. Turn.
Check. I fold.
The gentleman wins $150. Flop.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $150. The flop.
I raise. Check.
The river.
I'm the winner.
The flop.
I raise.
The gentleman calls. The river. Player checks. The gentleman wins $1,541. The gentleman calls.
I check.
Turn.
I'm shaking.
The gentleman calls. Flop. The gentleman calls. The gentleman wins $1,916. The gentleman calls. Turn.
Check.
The river.
I check. I'm the winner.
The gentleman calls. Player checks. The flop. Turn.
I check.
All in $5,142.
Those chips are mine. I check. I check. I fold.
The gentleman wins $150. The gentleman calls. Player checks.
I raise.
The gentleman wins $325. The gentleman calls. Player checks. Turn. Player checks. The river.
I raise. real skills. Check. Check.
Player checks. Player checks.
Check. I win! Check.
Player checks. The river. Player checks.
Look out for me.
The gentleman calls.
Raise.
The gentleman
Turn.
calls. The gentleman wins $5,392. The gentleman wins $75. Flop.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $150. The gentleman calls. The flop.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $150.
I check. I raise. I'm the winner.
Flop.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $150. The gentleman calls. Player checks.
Turn.
Check. I fold.
The gentleman wins $150. The gentleman calls. The flop.
Check.
Turn.
I fold. Fold.
The gentleman wins $150.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $75. The gentleman calls. The flop.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $150.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $75. The gentleman calls.
I raise.
The gentleman wins $327.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $75.
Check.
The flop.
Raise. Check.
The river.
Check. I raise.
The gentleman wins $2,898.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $75.
I raise.
Turn. The total pot is $9,320. Split pot. The gentleman calls.
I raise.
The gentleman calls. Player checks. River.
Raise.
The gentleman calls.
Give me the chips.
The gentleman calls. The flop.
Check. I got you.
The gentleman wins $100. Turn. Player checks the river.
I knew I was good.
The gentleman calls.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $250.
I fold.
The gentleman calls. Flop.
Check.
Turn.
Check. Raise. These are real skills.
The gentleman calls. The flop.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $150. The gentleman calls. The gentleman calls. River.
Check.
The gentleman calls. The gentleman wins $1,020. Flop.
Check. I check.
All in $3,849. The gentleman wins $3,899. The gentleman calls. Flop.
Raise. I'm the winner.
Player checks. Flop.
Raise.
The gentleman calls. The river. Player checks. The gentleman wins $2,916. The gentleman calls. Flop.
Check.
Turn. The river.
I raise. Look out for me.
Player checks. The flop.
Fold.
The gentleman wins $150.
I fold.
The gentleman wins $150.
Woohoo! I'm shaking.
The flop.
I fold. I check. I raise.
Turn.
I raise.
The gentleman calls. Player checks. The gentleman wins $486.
Fold.
The gentleman calls.
I check. Raise.
The gentleman calls.
I fold.
The flop. The gentleman calls. All in $1,141. This player is out of money. Has left the table. Welcome to the lovely city of Wichita Falls.